Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to Mvskoke Vision. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, and we are jumping right into the biggest news in Oklahoma, one of the biggest stories in the country, the teacher work stoppage and the descent onto the Capitol in Oklahoma City by all the teachers statewide. Mvskoke Media was there. Here is our footage from the Capitol.
These were just some of the chants heard at the state capitol in Oklahoma City on Monday, April 2nd, as teachers, students, parents, and many others came to support an increase in education funding. Many said this was not strictly about a pay raise for their salaries, but for education funding as a whole. Teachers talked about why they are there fighting for more funding.
These are my kids. I'm here for this right here and my own kids. We need funding for our schools. They are the future, and if we don't do something now, we're in more trouble than we are now. We have to beg and borrow and plead from classroom to classroom to find materials to fill our room. We're having paras cut, we're having support cut, programs are being cut. We've already lost teachers or paras for next year. We've lost computer programs that kids use. We've lost those for next year already. Something's got to be done.
As many teachers have stated, this is not just about their own pocketbooks, but about the students. Students seem to be the driving force behind why teachers are there to try to get an increase in education funding. Mvskoke Media spoke with Choctaw High School student William Erie about why he is there to try to convince lawmakers to increase education funding. Erie talks about outdated textbooks and other things he sees as a student.
Just the lack of funding and stuff like that for just textbooks and just the per pupil spending and stuff like that is just kind of.
What kind of? How old are your textbooks?
I think. Well, I know his textbook. We looked at it last night. I think is like 8 to 10 years old. One of those. So.
Okay. And I see you're in band.
Oh yeah.
Play the trombone.
Yes, sir.
What have you seen funding as far as like education, like for the arts, like band and music?
Well, I know that during band, sometimes we go to like contests and stuff like that. So my band directors they have to pay for their subs. If we go somewhere to take care of the other kids, we have to pay for our school buses. We have to, just stuff like that. So we basically have to pay to get there. We have to pay to use school buses, which is kind of, weird.
What do you want them to know about you being here today and you being out of school?
That it matters, I guess. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, I think a lot of times there's all these arguments for why teachers should still be in school, but it's like, that's such a closed-minded view of it's just a short-term view, I'd say. So it's just very, you got to think of long-term, and long-term, you can't keep doing this. I mean, it's really not good. I know there's some elementary schools in my school district that would turn the lights off in the hallway just to save money. I think that's kind of ridiculous. You should see some of the desks. I had a friend that sent a desk last year and it broke. It actually broke. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny, at the same time. I mean, you know what I mean? So, it's just ridiculous.
Behind the Capitol building, many gathered on a walkway over a busy highway to try to get drivers to show their support. Honks are being heard in this next interview with Chrissy Frost, a student teacher from the University of Central Oklahoma. Frost spoke about what she sees in the classroom on a daily basis.
I get to see everyday students who are sitting in desks that are broke, bathrooms with ceiling tiles falling down. I mean, it's pretty sad, the situation that the students are in. The bill is nice, that's great, and we can come here and say thank you for that, but the students, You know, they're left out of this, and if we're going to hold our students accountable for their work being complete, then we expect the exact same thing for legislators. It's no different. If that's the standard we're going to hold them to, why not? Why are legislators any different?
With the uncertainty of how long the teacher walkout will last, or how long it'll take legislators to pass a new bill in order to increase education funding, teachers like Atticus Dellinger and others have stated that they've had to pick up second jobs or the possibility of relocating.
I don't want to speak for everyone, but it's definitely in the back of probably most people's minds. If the state really just doesn't show that they stand behind their teachers, it's definitely plausible that we lose a lot.
Leslie Christopher was there with her third grade daughter, Emmeline, as she stated her fears for her daughter's future. She fears that the teachers nor the resources will be there once her daughter reaches high school status.
Well, I just believe that education is worth it. I believe that we need to not only pay the professionals who teach our children as the professionals that they are at a level that a professional deserves, but I also believe that we need to provide them with the resources that are needed to adequately teach, not adequately, effectively teach our kids.
The education crisis has touched Mvskoke Creek citizens in one way or another. Mvskoke Creek teachers, as you saw there in our story in Oklahoma City, also in or around the Tulsa area. And for that, we had Kevin Barnett, and Sterling Cosper was also with him. They went to the Tulsa protest over in Broken Arrow.
My name's Cindy Jackson. I'm a teacher at Childers Middle School in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The biggest purpose of today, we did get a small raise, but the biggest purpose is the funding for our kids. Our kids need smaller class sizes, they need good textbooks, and they need supplies to be able to learn. And that's the funding that wasn't approved, and that's what we're really fighting for today.
What do you want?
Our main focus is our students. It's about giving them the best education that we possibly can, like what we had when we were going to school.
And in 40 kids in a classroom, you aren't really able to teach. You're just managing the classroom.
Yes.
You're not able to give each child the kind of attention that they need to be able to learn.
And we're not managers, we're teachers, and that's what we want to do. We want to be in the classroom teaching our students, but we would much rather be in the classroom today.
Yes, we're all really worried.
Our end goal is ultimately to get funding for our kids. That's what it is. We're not out here asking for more money for teachers. We want money for our kids and for our programs. And I'm an art teacher, so I don't have a school supply list at the beginning of the school year that I can hand out. I get $1.35 per student for the year. This year that means that I get 4 cents for every student every time they come to art to do an art project. You can't do that anymore, and it's just gotten continually cut over the years. We are going to be here until the legislature funds it, and our end goal is $200 million. That's what they need to bring us back up to what we were 10 years ago. We're not even asking for what it would take to get us current right now. This is 10 years ago. We would have needed $200 million, and it's just gotten cut more and more, so we're just asking for the funding for our students.
All right, that wraps up education. Go to MvskokeMedia.com for a lot more of that. Now we wrap up part 2 of the movie we showed last week, The First Step.
pushing me around.
Well, don't you be telling me who I was with, because I wasn't with anybody.
Yeah, I seen you
No,
up and down
get
where
your
you
hands
were.
off of me. I'm going to call Kelly. Kelly! Kelly! Oh, close the door. Don't let him in. Oh, go away. Go away. You can't. Come in. Ah, Kelly. Call the police. Kelly. Call the police. Call the police. Hurry. All right, you can't get your butt out of here now.
Hey, I'm going.
Are you all right, Mom? Yes, baby. I'm okay. Where is he? Don't worry about him. He won't bother you no more.
Where did you get that?
It's mine. Go ahead, take a drink. You need it.
When did you start that?
A long time ago. Well, I don't approve. But it's too late now.
Just don't drink too much, okay?
Don't worry, I won't.
That guy thought he was a goner when he couldn't get that door open.
No, you should have seen the look on his face when he seen that knife.
I sure can pick him, can I?
You sure can.
After that, it seems like all I wanted to do was drink. Nothing else seemed to matter. I began drinking at school and my grades went way down. I was hanging out with other kids that drank and getting into trouble. One day we decided to skip school. Since I knew Mom wouldn't be home, we went to my house to party.
Hey, Kelly, got any more? This is our last one. Yeah, I think so. Let me go check out my room. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, it's the middle school counselor.
Let's get out of here. Hey, you guys, where are you going? My parties aren't that bad. Who needs you all anyway? I don't, not as long as I have this.
Hello, Kelly. I see you've made a remarkable recovery.
What do you mean by that?
Your mother called the school and said you were absolutely too ill to come in today. So I thought I'd stop by and see how you're progressing. Ah, medicinal purposes, I presume.
Checking up on me, huh?
Yes, I'm concerned. You've been absent so frequently recently. I'd like to know if there's a problem.
No, Miss Johnson, I don't have a problem. What makes you think I've got a problem?
Your school records shows that one time you were a straight-A student. You were always on the honor roll. And now...
So what?
So what? Now you're failing each of your subjects. How would you explain this?
I don't have to explain anything. It's none of your business.
Oh, but it is my business. And I want to help you.
I don't want your help. I don't need your help, so why don't you go find somebody else who really has a problem?
You really do have a problem. And it's this.
You don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
but I do, Kelly. I know what I'm talking about. I know the signs. You've got a problem with your drinking, and you know what? It's only going to get worse. Have you had any blackouts?
Leave me alone.
Kelly, I know what you're going through. I've been there. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Now let me help you.
I think you better leave.
Look, if you ever need any help at all, you call me. I know a wonderful treatment center.
Get out!
Remember, anytime.
Hey,
I was just sorry.
what's your name?
Hey.
Oh, don't.
Kelly, come on, have a drink. Hey, all right.
Have a
drink.
Cheers.
Where's what?
My drinking was out of control. I couldn't go a day without something to drink. When I finally realized this, I got scared and tried to quit on my own. For 2 days I didn't drink, but on the second night, while I was asleep, my body craved liquor so bad that it woke me up. I had to have a drink. kept in the closet. It was empty too, so I got dressed and went to my Uncle Jack's house. He always had a good supply on hand. I don't remember much after that. I guess I blacked out. They told me I was gone for several days. Mom had the police and everyone out looking for me. If it wasn't for that card Miss Johnson left, I might still be laying out in that alley.
Girl, you need help. Bad. Hey, you hear me? I say you need help. Why, you gotta get some help or you're liable to die. Your heart'll give out or something. I've seen cases like this before. I know what I'm talking about when I say you need help.
Call her.
Well, I might have to make more than one call. And this'll be for my services. Oh, I almost forgot that. I'd forget my head if it weren't screwed on.
Well, young lady, you gave us quite a start. But thanks to Mrs. Johnson, you're going to be just fine.
Where am I?
You're in a hospital, Kelly, and I'm Dr. Thomas. That must have been quite some drunk you were on, because they brought you in for severe withdrawal symptoms.
Where's Mom? Is she all right?
Your mother's here, and she's okay. But before I send her in, I want you to know that I'm sending you to a treatment center where they can do you the most good for your drinking. I'll check on you later. I'm going to send your mother in now.
I had reached the bottom, and the treatment center was the only place left for me to get help. I began to make a turnaround when I realized I was powerless over alcohol, and my alcoholism was an illness.
How are you feeling? Okay. Good. So are you.
The day finally came when I could leave the treatment center, but Mom never showed up to take me home, so I called Miss Johnson.
Thanks for bringing me home, Miss Johnson. I didn't know who else to call when my mom didn't show up.
That's perfectly all right. You don't have to keep apologizing. I'm glad you called. Now go on inside and see if Mom's home.
Is your mom inside, Kelly?
What?
I said, is your mom inside?
No, she isn't. Here, I can take that.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind.
Please, I can take it from here.
Okay. You know, Kelly, I hate to leave you alone. Why don't I just wait with you till Mom gets back?
No, that'll be okay. She'll probably be home any minute.
Okay, whatever you say. Oh, don't forget about those AA meetings. You know, they're very important to your first step.
I won't. Goodbye, and thanks again.
Goodbye, Kelly. Call me if you need anything.
Mom, I'm home. No! No! Well, at least let's get you comfortable.
Some homecoming that was. Mom really did try, but she can never seem to follow through with anything, like going to an AA meeting with me. She promises to go, but something more important always seems to come up.
Don't. Quit.
We'll see you later, Rose.
Bye, Rose.
Well, hello, Kelly. Your mama said you were home.
Doesn't she look good, Esther?
Sure does, Ruby.
Maybe I'll have to check into one of them treatment centers.
Wouldn't hurt. By the way, where's Mom?
Inside.
I'll talk about manners.
Mom, are you ready to go to the meeting? Mom, you were supposed to be ready.
Well, I had company.
I know. I met them outside. We better hurry and get ready to go to the meeting. Miss Johnson will be here any minute.
I can't go to no meeting.
What?
I said I'm not going. I'm going to meet Esther and Ruby at the Frontier Club.
You can't do that. You promised me you would go.
I know I did, baby, and I will. I'll go next week, I promise.
You're afraid to go. That's it, isn't it? You're afraid to go to the meeting with me.
You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not afraid of anything.
Yes, you are. You're afraid if you go to the meeting, you'll finally realize you're an alcoholic.
Shut up! Why don't you hurry and go get ready?
Mom, you're an alcoholic and you can't control your drinking.
You think you know everything since you've been at that treatment center, don't you?
Yes, and I can prove it. How many drinks have you had?
Well, Miss Smarty Pants, I'm gonna prove you don't know what you're talking about when you call me an alcoholic. I had 2 drinks.
How many?
Maybe 3.
How many?
All right, that's enough.
Maybe you were in a blackout. Maybe that's why you can't remember.
What difference does it make?
The difference is, if you're experiencing blackouts, and you have for years, you're an alcoholic. I better get ready.
I guess I'd better go back into the meeting now. Mom should have come. She's got to face up to it sooner or later. I can do this.
And now a chip to the person that has not had a drink for 6 months. Mike.
My name is Mike, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi.
And now a chip to the person who has not had a drink for 1 month. Kelly.
and I'm an alcoholic.
I talked to George Koser, who was a big part of that production. He's going to come on with us in the near future to talk about the first step. Well, that's our program for this week. We want to thank everybody out there for watching. Continue to watch us here and on MvskokeMedia.com. We'll see you guys next time.